All right, let's dive right into this deep dive about ancient Egyptian pyramids. You guys sent in some really cool stuff, like YouTube videos, articles, all sorts of things about pyramids.
And lots of material to dig into.
Yeah. And it seems like you want to know more than just, like, the basics, right? You want to know why they even built these things, who were these people, and, like, maybe uncover some secrets along the way?
Exactly. Go beyond just the how and into the why.
So get ready, because we're going to explore this pharaoh who might have been kind of obsessed with pyramids, a pyramid that took a seriously wrong turn while they were building it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
And even, get this, the first labor strike in history.
All thanks to pyramids.
All thanks to pyramids.
And, you know, it is interesting because pyramids, they aren't only in Egypt.
Oh, really?
They're all over the world.
Yeah.
China, Mexico, even Europe.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Pyramids in China.
Yeah, each with their own, like, cultural significance.
Okay, so let's start there. What's up with pyramids in China?
Well, like, take the mausoleum of the first Kree emperor.
It's not your typical, like, pointy pyramid, but it is this huge pyramid-shaped structure, and it covers this massive underground burial site,
Oh,
or
wow.
necropolis, which is guarded by, those amazing terracotta warriors.
Okay, now that's how you make an entrance into the afterlife, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So what about those Mesoamerican pyramids? I mean, those are just stunning.
Yeah. They're in a category of their own.
Yeah?
Teotihuacan in Mexico has the Pyramid of the Sun,
Mhm.
which was built like centuries before the Aztecs even got there. And then there's the Maya pyramids, which
Yes.
are like steep, towering structures that they used as temples.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine like climbing those for a religious ceremony?
You know, that would put my Stairmaster routine to shame, for sure. But, there's just something about those Egyptian pyramids.
Right.
The scale, the mystery.
Totally.
I mean, get this. The Great Pyramid of Giza held the record for the tallest structure on Earth for 3,500 years.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
That is crazy. Yeah, it's a real testament to their architectural skills, especially when you think about them doing this without any of our, modern technology.
Yeah, it really puts things into perspective.
Oh, for sure.
Our sources talk about this pharaoh, Khufu,
Okay.
who, seemed really, really fixated on building the most impressive pyramid ever.
Oh, he was all about it.
Can you imagine the manpower that took?
It's mind-boggling.
I know.
And, for a long time, people thought it was all slave labor.
Right.
But more recent discoveries are kind of painting a different picture,
Oh, okay. Tell me more about that.
So excavations near the Giza pyramids have uncovered evidence that really challenges that whole slave labor thing.
So what, they weren't slaves?
Well, it's complicated. But our sources talk about forensic evidence suggesting that they were actually skilled Egyptians.
Really?
Not slaves at all.
Yeah.
Some were even well-fed and received, advanced medical care.
What? Advanced medical care?
Yeah, like broken bones being set, and even signs of brain surgery.
That is incredible.
Yeah, pretty amazing, right?
So it wasn't just all about the pharaoh's tomb.
It seems like it was more of a whole community effort,
Okay.
The sources describe these almost like lost cities that sprung up around the pyramids. Bakeries, workshops, they even had grain storage.
That's pretty impressive. But, okay, now for the big question. How did they actually build these things?
right.
Millions of heavy stone blocks, some weighing more than a car, all put together perfectly. Just doesn't seem possible.
Amazing.
Our sources mention ramps, levers, even a lucky discovery with copper and arsenic that made their tools stronger.
And don't forget those quartz sand saws they apparently used to cut through granite.
Oh, right. I mean, how did they even come up with that? Talk about resourceful. Especially without modern tools.
Exactly. And, think about this. The Great Pyramid is aligned with true north,
Okay.
within 120th of a degree.
Wait, how is that even possible without, GPS or anything?
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? It shows how much they knew about astronomy and, surveying techniques. I mean, we're still learning about their methods today.
It really is incredible.
It is.
Okay, so, speaking of mysteries, what's the deal with those empty sarcophagi? You know those stone coffins found in some pyramids?
Yeah.
If these were tombs, where are the bodies?
Well, those empty sarcophagi have led to a lot of theories.
Okay.
Some people think that, grave robbers got to them.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
But others have come up with more creative explanations, even connecting them to those intriguing dendrolites.
Oh, yeah. What are those again?
They're these ancient Egyptian depictions that some people think look like light bulbs.
Wait, ancient Egyptian light bulbs. Okay, you're going to have to Explain this one to me.
So there's this theory called pyramid power,
Okay.
and it suggests that those shafts inside the pyramids, they weren't for ventilation.
Oh, interesting.
They were actually for harnessing energy and maybe even generating electricity. I mean, the evidence isn't super strong, but the king's chamber has a lot of granite and quartz, right?
Yeah.
And those are materials with piezoelectric properties.
Piezoelectric properties. What does that even mean?
It just means they can generate electricity when squeezed or, like, vibrated. And the theory is that the pyramid itself was designed to create those vibrations.
Okay, that is wild.
Yeah.
So they actually had light bulbs. What about those Dendera lights?
Well, there are these carvings in the Temple of Hathor at Dendera
Right.
that kind of look like giant light bulbs.
Okay.
And it's fueled all the speculation about them knowing about electricity.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
There's even this Austrian engineer, Walter Garn, who built a working model of the Dendera light.
Really?
Yeah, and he only used materials and techniques that were available in ancient Egypt.
Wow. So it was possible. I mean, even if they didn't have actual light bulbs, the construction is still mind-blowing.
It really is.
Speaking of construction, what about Sneferu's bent pyramid? What happened there?
Ah, yes, the bent pyramid. It seems they started with a really steep angle, but then they had to change it midway through.
Oh, no. So they messed up?
Well, yeah, kinda. I mean, it ended up looking, well, bent.
I guess I can relate. Some of my DIY projects don't always go according to plan either.
Yeah, sometimes things just don't work out how you expect.
But hey, at least they learn from their mistakes, right?
Exactly. I mean, every pyramid seems to build on the knowledge of the ones that came before it, leading up to, like, the masterpiece that is the Great Pyramid.
Yeah, they definitely got better over time.
For sure.
That brings us to the big question, though. What was the purpose of all of this? I mean, we've talked about tombs, even gateways to the stars, but our sources, they suggest maybe there was something more.
You're right. And to really understand that, we need to take a look at the pyramid texts.
What are those?
There are these inscriptions that they found inside some of the pyramids.
Oh, okay.
They're almost like a guidebook for the pharaoh's journey into the afterlife.
Oh.
They're full of spells, rituals, and instructions on how to, navigate the underworld.
So it was about more than just burying the pharaoh.
Exactly. It was about helping to launch his soul into the afterlife.
That's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is, and it connects to another really fascinating theory, the Orion correlation theory.
I think I've heard of that. It's something to do with the stars, right?
Yeah, it suggests that the pyramids were purposely positioned to mirror the stars in Orion's belt.
Oh, wow.
And this ties back into the idea of the pharaoh becoming a star after death. Like, their pyramid is this celestial launch pad.
Whoa, that is next level thinking. So they were like mapping the heavens on Earth.
That's the idea. It makes you wonder if they had a deeper connection to the cosmos than we do today.
I know, right? Did they view life and death differently than us?
It really makes you think.
So if the pyramids were more than just tombs and the pharaohs were becoming stars and all of that,
Yeah.
then what does that say about the people who actually built these incredible structures?
That's a great question. And it leads us right into the lives of those who made it all possible. It's easy to imagine, all these workers just toiling away under the hot sun.
Yeah.
But our sources actually paint, like, a more complex picture.
Yeah.
Like those records we saw about their rations.
Right.
Beer,
Yeah.
meat, even fish.
Okay.
That suggests they were pretty valued.
That's true. And speaking of valuing their work, our sources mention this. Well, this is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
The first documented labor strike in history happened during pyramid construction. Can you believe that?
I mean, that's incredible.
It's wild.
Yeah.
So the story goes that it was during Ramses III's reign,
Okay.
and the tomb builders at Deir el Medina, that village specifically for the workers on the royal tombs.
Right.
Well, they weren't getting their usual rations,
Oh, no.
and so they decided to just walk off the job.
What?
Yeah, they refused to work until they got what they deserved.
Wow. Talk about standing up for your rights.
I know, right? I can't imagine, defying the pharaoh.
Yeah, it's pretty bold.
That just suggests a whole other level of social organization
Right. And, awareness.
that we don't really think about when we think about ancient
It
civilizations.
really challenges our assumptions, doesn't it?
It totally does. So, it wasn't just the pharaoh at the top
Uh-huh.
and then, everyone else.
It sounds like there were all these layers.
Okay.
Officials, priests, scribes, artisans, and then the workers themselves.
So, a real society.
Yeah, each group had their own role, and their own, status.
Right, right. And just like with any society, I'm sure there were tensions and power struggles, right?
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
I mean, our sources even talk about how the tombs built by officials started to get super elaborate,
Yeah.
like almost as grand as the pharaohs.
What do you make of that?
I don't know, it seems like maybe the officials were trying to get a piece of that, like pharaoh immortality. Like maybe that points to the pharaoh's power weakening a bit.
Good thought, yeah.
So maybe the end of pyramid building was already kind of there in the system, you know what I mean?
It's a possibility for sure. But there were definitely other factors too, like economic strain, political instability, and the rise of, powerful institutions, like the priesthood of Amun.
Okay, so let's talk about that. This rise of the priesthood, why were they gaining so much power?
Well, as the pharaoh's authority started to decline,
Uh-huh.
other institutions, especially the religious ones, they kind of filled that void.
Oh, I see.
The priests of Amun, especially, they got a lot of wealth and land, so they became very powerful.
It's almost like what we see happening today, right?
Yeah.
With powerful institutions gaining influence.
Yeah, it's an interesting parallel, and it makes you think about how these power dynamics shift over time.
For sure. And then on top of all that, our sources mention these mysterious invaders, the Sea Peoples.
Oh, right, the Sea People.
They really caused some problems for ancient Egypt.
Yeah, they did.
Who were they? And what did they have to do with the decline of pyramid building?
That's the thing, we don't really know who they were.
What?
They're still an enigma. I mean, we know they caused a lot of trouble across the Mediterranean,
Okay.
messing up trade routes and,
Yeah.
creating instability.
So like pirates?
Maybe? I mean, their origins are a mystery, but they definitely had an impact on Egypt. They
Very.
pushed the kingdom to its limits,
Oh, wow.
and that put even more strain on their resources.
Right. And that probably played a part in the decline of pyramid construction.
Most likely. It seems like it was a combination of, internal and external pressures that led to the end of this era of monumental building.
A perfect storm.
Yeah, exactly. It's a classic example of how even the greatest civilizations are, vulnerable to change,
Yeah.
and how power shifts can impact, everything.
Right, right. But even though that era ended, the pyramids are still here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they still inspire awe and wonder.
It's true.
They draw visitors from all over the world.
They really do.
That's got to be a testament to, their enduring power, right?
Absolutely.
In modern Egypt, they're doing so much to preserve their past.
Yeah, with that new Grand Egyptian Museum, right?
Exactly.
That's a huge project.
Yeah, it's all dedicated to showcasing Egypt's history and treasures.
That's so cool.
I mean, it really shows how strong the fascination with ancient Egypt is today.
It does. It's we all have this desire to connect with the past, to try to understand where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
And these pyramids, they offer this window into a civilization so different from our own, yet with echoes that we still feel today.
That's so true. It's been a crazy journey so far.
It really has.
And this whole deep dive, it's got me thinking,
Oh, yeah.
if pyramids weren't just tombs,
Okay.
but also gateways to the stars, these cosmic launch pads for the pharaohs,
I love that.
did the ancient Egyptians, did they see life and death differently than we do? Do they have a deeper connection to the cosmos? It's a lot to think about.
It really is. It makes you question everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does make you wonder.
And what's even crazier, there's a chance there are still hidden chambers in the Great Pyramid.
Oh, absolutely.
Just waiting to be found.
I mean, who knows what's in there?
Right. Lost texts, hidden artifacts,
Could be anything.
maybe even Khufu's real burial chamber.
That would be wild.
It's mind-blowing.
And every new discovery just seems to lead to more questions.
Yeah, it's true. It's
It
true.
makes you want to just hop on a plane to Egypt and start digging,
Oh, don't tempt me. But even without those secret chambers, what we've learned from these sources is just amazing.
It really is.
We've gone from pyramids all over the world to the inner workings of ancient Egyptian society.
Yeah.
We've explored how they were built, what they believed, even thought about the possibility of ancient electricity.
I know, it's a lot.
What a journey.
It really highlights the power of curiosity.
Totally.
Constantly questioning and exploring.
Yep.
And even today, we're still trying to figure out ancient Egypt.
That's what makes it so fascinating.
Absolutely.
And remember, this deep dive was just a taste.
Yeah, just a glimpse.
If you're interested in learning more, there's a whole world out there waiting to be explored.
Just keep asking questions, keep digging deeper.
Exactly.
Who knows what you might find?
That's what I always say.
Ancient Egypt has so many stories to tell.
It really does. Well, thanks for joining us on this incredible deep dive into the world of ancient Egyptian pyramids.
It was my pleasure.
Until next time, keep looking up.
And maybe bring a shovel.
Haha, exactly.